will tackle the tough losses and watch those who run for their goals. Get those points even though they may be tough. Celebrate all the moments. Sportsnight is next.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sportsnight. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Shapiro, and I'm back. I'm back this week.
I missed you last week. And it's good to have you. We have another short show. Unfortunately, all team sports at Coon Rapids are done. Swimming and diving has their individual section tournament coming up, still more than a week away. And the Cardinals have one runner on his way to state.
Yes, so we have a few things left to show you before we say the fall season is over.
Correct, and we will be wrapping things up with a review show already next week.
Wow.
Hard to believe, but that is the way things go. The season not quite over, though, for that one Cardinal runner. Senior Paul Breitbach finished top 10 at sections and qualified for state for the third time. Both Cardinals teams had great races at sections. 37 runners put up all-time personal records, and 3 others got season best times. Both teams finished middle of the pack, but both have a lot of young talent and will be back for years to come. On the girls' side, just 2 of the 7 starters are seniors. 3 of the Cardinals have at least 3 more years ahead of them at the varsity level. Cardinals trying to fly together in groups that span all grade levels. The first clump of Cardinals is a perfect example, an 8th grader, a 10th grader, and a senior. The youngest among them, also the fastest at sections. 8th grader Julie Hedlund puts up the Cardinals' best time, finishing 30th in 21:27.1. Sophomore Sarah Eichstad and senior Hattie Bio finishing together in 50th and 51st, just over 1 second apart. Junior Olivia Ellenbecker crosses the line in 21:44.6, takes 60th place, and 8th grader Abby Ness is 78th as the team. The Cardinals finished 10th in the 15-team tournament. Breitbach leading the way for the Cardinals in his final section championship. One last chance to try to capture the 5AA crown. And he was pacing himself with eventual champion Ben Olson from Blaine along the route. At the end, he turns in a great race, and he is all alone as he gets to the finish line in 8th place in 16 minutes, 18.2 seconds. Breitbach, the only senior on the course for the Cardinal boys. Junior Nick Jorgensen is in next in 35th place in 17:20. Sophomore Noah Christensen just over 4 seconds behind him in 42nd place. Fellow sophomore Reed Smith is not far behind them in 47th. And then it's junior Logan Rothstein getting in 68th place with sophomore Isaac Johnson and junior Aaron Johnson right on his heels. Cardinals finish 8th at the section meet.
Well, certainly congratulations to all the runners that participated, and
and especially to that young man.
I was just going to say that.
Paul Breitbach on his 3rd trip to the state tournament. Best of luck from all of us here at CTN. And if you have the opportunity to get out to St. Olaf on Saturday and cheer him on, the boys AA race starts at 11. And a really exciting way to finish his season and his career. He's been a big part of this program for all of his 4 years, and I think even when he was back in middle school, we saw him running. So he's been a part of this team for a long time. That's great, but the future for both squads, very impressive.
Well, and great footsteps to follow for some of the younger runners. Just take what he did over the years and learn from those things and continue to do your personal best and continue to run strong, and someday maybe you'll be there as well.
Well, and you're talking about a team that of the 14 competitors at section, only 3 of them were seniors, so they're going to be able to bring that up. And remember, 37 best times all the way down to through the JV ranks. So everybody getting faster at the right time.
That's what you want.
Swimming and diving did not have any meets this week, but they have their section tournament still over a week away. That is next Thursday, and then the state tournament starts Thursday the 16th.
Yeah, lots of good things for them. Well, the Cardinal volleyball team has shown significant improvements the past few weeks, and they went into section play with high hopes. Coon Rapids was 10th seed in the 11th team tournament, but they still were confident. Wayzata's record was not much better, and their results against common opponents very similar. If they could start fast, there was hope they could pull off an upset in the opening round. Cardinals got exactly the start they wanted. Fantastic dig by Allison Yang in the corner. Foslin sets up for Becca Masteller. She gets the kill. Coon Rapids had an early 5-1 lead. But once the Trojans get going, they were hard to stop. Off the partial block, a very quick turn back to the near side for left-handed Liz Helmick, Wayzata finished the first on a 22-3 run, taking the first set 25-11. Cardinals trying to come back from an early deficit in the second. Lauren Koss gets a big kill in the middle to keep them close. Koss, one of the team's 4 seniors. There were some longer points in the second set, but the Cardinals weren't able to find as many winners in the scrambles as did Wayzata. But they kept it closer, but the Trojans took a 2-0 lead with a 25-17 win in the second. Trojans weren't going to have leave any questions. They had a chance to end it all. Another big kill for Helmick, one of Wayzata's 6 6-footers. The Cardinals fought hard, but they lose in 3. 25-11 was the final in the third set. You know, Wayzata, with the same amount of wins as Coon Rapids, they looked like a really good 6-win team. They had that size up front, and really Coon Rapids had a real tough time with that. And they dominated.
That is going to be a very good
very young
volleyball
team.
squad the next couple of years. A lot of their height at the lower levels. Helmick, the left-handed hitter, you just don't see him that often, and it makes them so much more effective from the right side. And they had a number of other 6-footers they could put on the left. So, and they hit in the middle as well. So they were a tough team, but a good finish for the Cardinals. They would have liked to have fared a little better, I think, against Wayzata than they did.
Yeah, absolutely.
But their last couple of weeks were much better than their first couple of weeks. So definite improvement along the way. And had they beaten the Wayzata Trojans, the road would have just gotten that much more difficult because they would have faced number 2 seed Maple Grove. Maple Grove swept Wayzata easily. I don't remember the scores, but it was in the low double digits into the low teens. Maple Grove, though, upset, is now facing St. Michael Albertville, who beat Buffalo 3-1. And Rogers, the upset over Osseo, and they get number 1 seed Champlain Park. Those games on Tuesday, Halloween night.
Yeah.
The semifinal round.
Spectacular.
Well, as most football fans probably already know, the Cardinals' season ended with a semifinal loss to the Cinderella story from St. Francis on Saturday. The Saints, the lowest seed in the 6-team Section 7 5A bracket. They handled 3-seed Duluth East in the opening, beating them 45-21 on Tuesday. Then they came into the complex with a lot of confidence. Cardinals get the start they wanted. Opening possession, pitch to Jalen Salazar running right. Nice look to the sidelines, and he gets 21 yards deep into Saints territory. 3rd and goal from the 5. Fumble on the snap, squirts loose. Ashton Perry able to fall on it. Cardinals come away empty after a decent drive. Saints didn't have short field for very long. Drew Dacus breaks free off tackle and finds a lot of room to run. A 40-yard gain gets him into Coon Rapids territory. Defense holds, though, to force a 28-yard field goal attempt. Hunter Dustman's kick is good, but he's bumped and the Saints will take the first down on the roughing the kicker. Just a couple plays later, it's Dacus running to his left, able to find a seam and fight for the goal line. Extra point was blocked, but St. Francis led 6-0. Turned out to be enough for this fired-up Saints defense. They held the Cardinals to just 3 first downs in the rest of the football game. Big sack on Ben Holzen right there. Coon Rapids under 100 yards on offense on the day. St. Francis did add a field goal in the second quarter. Dustman able to put it through from 37 yards out. That made it 9-0 going to the half. Saints had a little more cushion to their lead in the fourth quarter. TJ Hoagland going straight up the gut from 5 yards out. Dacus ran in the 2-point conversion to make it a 17-0 final. So the clock has yet to strike midnight for the Saints. They go to face top-seeded Andover for a chance to play in the biggest ball of them all, the state tournament.
You know, it was really a tough game to be there for, be a part of, because I thought the Cardinals, you know, we saw that first drive, and then for the fumble out on 3rd and goal, it kind of took the wind out of their sails. You block a field goal, and then you get called for what I thought was maybe a little questionable roughing the kicker call. They made the field goal, so you're talking about 3. You take the 3 off, then they get the touchdown. I thought St. Francis did a really good job of taking advantage of the difficulty with size disadvantage for them. I thought they did a really nice job on the blitz. They were able to bring that extra defender in a couple of times to get that sack. Coon Rapids did 3rd and long, 2nd and long in a number of plays, and that's really not their offense. It was unfortunate. You know, I think the Cardinals knew coming in that they played their game. They go on to play Andover in that next round. Definitely Coon Rapids, I felt, has the size advantage, had the athletic advantage. Unfortunately, the score at the end of the game didn't show it.
Well, and St. Francis kind of took a page out of the Cardinals' book when the Cardinals were winning. They kept the ball.
Yeah.
When you have the ball, it's tough for the other team to score, or tougher. You lose the time of possession, you lose the turnover battle, and especially when you just can't get the offense going after that opening drive. Of course, I was really wishing I was there, but then getting the updates just was very, very disappointing to hear that I would not be able to get a playoff game. I really thought this was a year that they get the win, and I thought that matchup with Andover would be very, very exciting and fun to watch. The Huskies put up huge numbers all season long and continued in their one playoff game so far, put up 51 points against Chisago Lakes in their semifinal. So they await the St. Francis Saints, and can the Saints continue with the slipper on instead of a cleat and make it past Maple Grove? I don't know. Or make it past Andover? I don't know.
I'm sure it'll be a tough one for them to do, but if they continue to play the way they have, they're going to give Andover a run. You know, you also look at the situation defensively for Coon Rapids. I was texting you during the game to kind of give you an update. 2 times on a particular drive, they had them in 3rd and 12 and 3rd and 14. And both times they ran for a first down. So those are things, obviously, defensively that you can't let happen. Hey, this was a Cinderella season. This was a really good season.
It was a great
for
season.
Coon Rapids.
They've
got a lot to build on, and that's what they'll do for next year.
Yeah, it's unfortunate again that it ended earlier than they wanted it to, but it was a fun year, and we'll definitely get into more of that next week when we do the review show of the fall season. But that's pretty much it for fall sports from CTN. One more time, good luck to Paul Breitbach as he runs for state on Saturday at St. Olaf. If you have the opportunity, please get out and give him some support. Otherwise, we'll be back next week to do the fall review, and then it's hockey season. Woo. Girls hockey starts on the 14th at Burnsville.
Road trip.
Then they're at Andover on the 21st, and we get to see them on the Crick ice for the first time on the 28th of November as they host the Rogers Royals. But that's going to do it for this edition of Sports Night. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us, continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying good night.